Israel, Palestine, and the future of Western civilization. I don't think Western civilization has much longer. I think countries that go by the title of being Western countries are going to be no more. And the ones that do survive will take on a new name and a new ideology. Let's win today. What's going on in Gaza? Well, you have a ton of dead Hamas fighters. Israel's cleaning house. The Arab armies never particularly been strong. They've lost to just about any opponent who wasn't Arab. And we're going to see more of that in the future. The problem is now, though, there's going to be a lot more blood in Gaza. Because the circumstances are kind of putting it so essentially it's a big ground for recruiting. They're able to recruit people quite easily, Hamas, and they're going to be able to keep recruiting people despite starvation and all that stuff. The fight's just going to keep on going, and Israel's not going to stop. You got everybody telling them to stop. They're just not going to listen anymore. They don't want any allies. And quite frankly, I can't blame them. It costs too much to be somebody's ally. America's not going to be an ally anymore in its traditional sense that it bribes you into that alliance. Probably going to have to work the other way around now. Not to say that Israel hasn't brought anything to the table, but it's just given money. We've got our own problems here. We've got enough of them. I don't really blame them for what they're doing. It's something that I feel like it's unavoidable. It has to happen. Hamas is doing what they have to do to survive. Israel's doing what they have to do to survive. But they cannot coexist. Hamas's ideology is death and destruction, and you can't have that. If your neighbor wants you dead, you got to take them out first, because they're just going to keep trying. What happened on October 7th will repeat itself again, unless Hamas is destroyed. And to make matters worse, the rest of the Arab world, they've got their own problems. They don't want to deal with this. The Jordanians want nothing to do with the West Bank. Egypt wants nothing to do with Gaza. Maybe I could see the Turks intervening, like, hey, Israel, we'll get Gaza off your hands, we'll occupy it, and we will execute all the leadership of Hamas. That's a viable option. It's probably the best option. That's probably going to appease the most people. And Turkey has expressed some interest in wanting to help out the Palestinians, but at the same time, Turkey's got their own problems too. This little war, it could mean sort of a unification and a good way to fund the economy. I'm not really sure why Turkey's economy is doing so poorly. I feel like everything's set up for it to be successful. But anyways, I feel like with Israel, the current political system is gonna fail, and they're gonna have to do something else. I mean, I said in another video, they got 30% of the country being freeloaders, being these hypocrites in government. They hold on to a lot of power, and they really shouldn't, because they don't pay taxes, they don't serve in the military, They're just kind of like, we get by how we're gonna get by. And they're also religious fanatics. That's another thing that's gonna put some more strain on everything. I do feel like Israel's gonna come out on top, though. And if Turkey does not intervene, does not take control of Gaza, then everybody there is probably going to be relocated somewhere else, maybe to the West Bank, after Hamas is destroyed and a huge sum of the population has been starved off. Get ready for that in the future, too. Lots of populations being starved. And Gaza Strip will be another territory of Israel. And then who knows? Another war could break out somewhere else with one of Israel's neighbors, and then they got themselves some more land. That's all.